There we go. Okay.
It's recording, right?
Yes. Yes. Okay. I'm Melanie. This is my teacher, Mrs. Smith.
Hi.
And I'm taking EDU 581 assessment for EL students. And we work together. We share a student. And so today we're going to talk about have some formal assessment, some authentic assessment for EL students. Just share some ideas.
That'll be good.
So,
That'll be good for all of them.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it. Okay, so to start off, real quickly, our student Z is from Somali, did not come until January of 16. And before this, he had no formal schooling. So it's been quite an experience for him. Yeah.
And really how far he's come.
True. You're so right. Actually, he's such a great kid.
Yeah.
Such a great kid. So wanted to look at some ways that we can formally assess him, both together in the classroom and then me when I work with him, to develop not only his academic skills, because there's so many, academic, yes, but his English language development skills. So let's look first at his PSP. I know we've looked at this before, but I wanted to point out again. When you think about Z, what are things that you think about that are strengths of his, things that he can do well?
He's a fluent reader. He can decode words, which for not being schooled even in his own language, I think is a big, that screams about him.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's wonderful.
With math, he is good at the computation part. Not as good with word problems or with the writing aspect of it.
Right, and there's a lot of writing now and with math.
Exactly. Right. But that would make sense, being that if he wasn't even in his own country, having schooling, that would be the weaker part right now.
Exactly. So let's look first. Let's look at his levels. I know you know these, but let's just review them. And then wanted to point out the can-do descriptors for each level. So listening, he's a 3.8, which that's his highest of all of the domains.
It is. That would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So developing, it means he knows and uses social English and some specific academic language with the visual support. You are really good about the picture cues. I know that sometimes I've seen with your science lessons, you put them on PowerPoint and put a lot of visuals in there.
And that helps him.
Yes, okay. And you also use, I've seen you with math too, use the visuals, like you'll write and say it orally, and that's also really good. I think you're very, very good at that. But I wanted to show you, so down here, when you're doing lessons, if you want to create an assessment or you're thinking about a lesson and you are not sure, can you do this?
Right.
Can you not? Remember, you can always look at the can-do descriptors and then kind of give specifics under each domain.
That will help with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What you know that you can do at that level.
Okay.
So let's go back. His writing, a 1.8, which we talked about how much he struggles with writing. But I think I found some ideas
that will help him.
Yes, I'm really excited about the idea I found. And then reading, 1.8, which I think that actually,
because they go together.
Yep. And I think too that like you would know better than me, but he's decoding.
But he's the understanding.
Right. Exactly. The comprehension behind it. Speaking of 1.5, I actually think that is lower, although this was done in January of last year.
Right.
So he's definitely progressed well with his speaking. And then his overall is a 1.9. So that and you're so good. I'm really glad he's in your classroom. Very, very good at all the support that you give him.
He's had a lot to overcome.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So, and he's such a good attitude. He's so sweet, so shy.
Can you imagine being somewhere else and not knowing the language and not having formal school?
No. I mean, really, these children are amazing.
Yeah.
They really are amazing. And they're bilingual, which I always tell them, they want to be just like you, because he is in particular really shy and seems embarrassed a lot,
he just want to be different from everybody
else. Right, and he's at that age. Exactly. And I try and, like when I have him, I try and build him up. Though your classroom, you've done an amazing job with building the climate in your classroom, cultural responsiveness. Like, they are so sweet to him. They're so good to him. They're inclusive to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when he comes and when he goes, it's hi and bye. And I love that. Yes. And I know that makes him feel good. But let me we can talk about him all day, how much we love him. But so one of the big things that I think is important to mention is pooling his prior knowledge.
Okay.
Sometimes it's hard to do with EL kids if they're on a lower language level, but there's ways that we can do it with picture dictionaries and picture cards and visuals. But I was going to ask you, what do you think? What is he interested in? Like, what have you discovered that
he loves soccer. He likes anything technology. He likes to be on the Chromebook.
Okay.
And I think probably because it's visual, because he has more visuals with it, so that helps him.
Yes.
What he's looking at or understanding.
That's great, because I have heard him talk about soccer some, not probably much as you, but that would be great. I think that these ideas might be really good for him, and I think that they will be easy. I know sometimes time and ease is so important for classroom teachers. So I wanted to look at the domains of each one, and I pulled just a couple ideas for you. They all would include rubrics and checklists as tools, and simple ones. So being that they're in the language domains, I went ahead and I pulled some for you, and I found some resources.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yay.
That I think that you can use tomorrow. You can use right away. That assess them, and like I put this one, oral scoring rubric, and then the writing scoring rubric, and the listening rubric. I think that these will be very helpful, and checklists too. Yeah, because you can just walk around while he's engaged with the activity, and just real quick check. And then I know how you are with your data. You're very organized with your data, and then you can just keep a little like photo album of all of his things. So I wanted to share those with you. Those are yours.
Thank you. Something I don't have to create. Yay.
Well, I have a couple sites for you too. I'll share those with you. Getting back to using the rubrics and the checklist, just as you're kind of going about. The speaking domain. One thing that I found, it's called Photobabble.
Ooh, pictures.
And yes, you can choose. They have a huge gallery, big gallery of pictures, and then the students with the headsets that we use, for Spanish,
can do that.
They can talk about the picture, and they speak about it.
This is awesome.
Say hello. Wondering if you're gonna.
This would be great for all kids trying to get them to add details.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That's
yes. Because that's the hard. They don't want to add details. Well, that's everybody.
Well, exactly. So you can do that with him, with all of them.
And then he wouldn't feel so different if there's some other ones around him.
Yes, then you can use it for all your kids. And for him, you could assess, he records himself. So he could record himself speaking. You can assess his speaking domain. Yes. Or if you wanted to include content in there, they have the gallery is large. You could find something that pertains to maybe the science concept or social studies or something, and then upload that picture, and then they can talk on the content. Yeah, so that's one thing. Another one, let's see, interviews. If you wanted to set up interviews with the kids and they had to pretend, something like he could be a soccer player, a soccer coach, something that he could speak about. And
that he's knowledgeable on.
Yes, then he can speak about, there's no proper information necessarily. You're actually assessing just his speaking, but you set it up in an interview format, model for him, and then
other conversation going back
can ask him questions. Yeah, so he practices his speaking, and you can easily assess that authentically, with one of the rubrics. So
that's a good idea, especially if he's knowledgeable on it, like you said with soccer.
Yeah. Okay, reading. I thought a reader's theater at his level, but another thing could be about soccer, or I found I've been looking for a lot of Somali resources, and I found that there are some websites, and I've bookmarked them for you.
Oh,
yes.
Thank you.
So
no, anything that
you're so cute. I love you. That are Somali folk tales.
Oh, so
so it's like his culture. So I feel like he could relate to it, while getting the goals of the content that you want him.
Oh, that would be excellent.
Yeah. So, but it also makes him feel, and then the other kids, they love learning about, his culture too. And so I just thought that would be a great way.
They're very interested in what, his country, with the things that they did.
Yeah.
Which I think helps make him feel included and important too.
I do too. And with that, you could assess him also during buddy reading. I know you guys do buddy reading a lot. And so you could assess him during buddy reading. And when they're having that discussion, kind of like, conferring notes, you can just authentically take your checklist and
Okay.
whatever you're looking for, your standard or whatever, if
Right.
you want to do the language standard or content standard. It's just an authentic way to do
Oh,
it.
that's great.
Listening, Tumble Books, you know Tumble Books.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
The library. Yes.
Yeah,
They love those.
yes, the
yeah.
library.
We used to use those with the younger grades a lot.
Exactly. So with him, because his levels are where they are, they have chapter books in there,
Right.
but they also have great picture books. And that he seems to be embarrassed. I know you have some picture books in your library, but he's embarrassed to get them.
Right.
I know
Exactly.
We've talked
because
about
the older,
this.
yeah, they're not
Exactly.
doing that. Yeah.
Exactly. So, but he could access them from Tumble Books and
Okay.
listen. And then it also has the words highlighted.
I saw. Yes. I'm trying to.
How it
So
does
he's
that.
getting both.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's getting both. And then one way that you could assess kind of his reading authentically is after he listens and
To the book.
reads the story, then you could have just the 3 boxes that you make like in Word,
Okay.
and then he can draw pictures.
To tell the story or put
Yes,
the story back
beginning,
together.
middle,
okay.
end. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Or
perfect.
if you had pictures to cut up and put them in sequence in
Right.
order, but otherwise he could just draw
Okay.
according to it.
both
Yeah,
of them.
see what he
Okay.
understands exactly. And then also a guest speaker. So a guest speaker, it could be me. Like I could come in and talk about soccer. And basically all the kids, just something that you're interested in, the kids just listen. And then afterwards you pair them up and they talk about what they heard, what they listened to.
Okay.
So it could be content.
All right.
Or if you
Things
just
they've
want to
learned from it
assess
or
their
things that they
speaking.
realized.
Exactly.
Okay.
You just want to assess their listening.
Okay.
Then is he comprehending
What
what
was
the
said.
speaker? Yeah.
Okay.
Because then it's something, that he's interested in. And really, if it's something he's interested in, then it give you an authentic view
Right.
of what he's hearing. Because then
Right.
we know he's listening and,
Right.
and they
Versus if it's something he's not into
Yeah.
that he's just going
Okay,
to
so
tune out. Okay.
exactly. So here's my favorite,
Okay.
the writing, because we've been working on that a lot. I know, really concerned that it's called a dialogue journal.
I've never heard of that.
I know I hadn't either. And when I found it, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do this with all my kids. So dialogue journal is you get a notebook and it's yours and his, and you pass it back and forth.
So we can ask each other questions and talk.
Yes.
Yeah, things.
So, and it can be just, you can ask about soccer as, you can talk about family, you can talk about the weather, you can talk about content if you want
that
to,
would be
but
great
right
with
away.
every kid.
I know.
Yes.
So for him, then you're modeling for him proper writing,
Right.
complete sentences and structure and grammar and all that, but you're also
Engaging with him.
yes, you're getting to know him and
Right.
making that connection so he feels important.
Right.
And I just think
Yes.
that's special. And then you also have that from here to here.
Okay.
You've got that
you
link.
can see the growth throughout the whole year because it's in a
Exactly.
notebook.
Yeah.
Oh, that
I
would
just
be
think that's
perfect.
so special.
Yeah,
So,
that one would be neat with
so
everybody
that's an
too.
idea too. So
Okay, and ways to assess him and his.
yeah.
That'd
So
be good.
I thank you for your time today.
Oh, thank
I know
you. These were
time to
great
get out here,
ideas.
but-
These are good
okay,
things
good.
with everybody.
Well, I think so too. I do. I mean, our district does a lot with authentic assessment. So I just tried to find ways that
to make it, where you
help
can
him
really,
along.
yeah.
I know. I love our little guy. So, but I really appreciate your time,
Oh,
and I'll
thank you.
send you the links to the
For
other
this.
things. I
Oh,
have.
yes. I'm excited about that.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
sweet. Thank you.